Folks, it is with great pleasure that for the first time in nearly 2 years, I get to say good vibes only. Colby, hit it.
You are Locked On Mariners, your daily Seattle Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Ahoy, sailors. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. This is Tiny Gonzalez and Colby Patnode for the Locked On Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. And as always, if you want to hear from me and Colby even more and help support the show, you can check out our Patreon. All you have to do to check that out is click the link in the description of this episode. He's coming home, folks. He's coming home. Your Seattle Mariners have reacquired Eugenio Suarez in a trade with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Going back to Arizona is Tyler Locklear, Hunter Cranton, and Juan Burgos. Colby, remind me, what was this supposed to cost the Mariners? What was this supposed to cost any team that wanted to acquire Eugenio Suarez?
Well, let's see. 2 weeks ago, we heard they wanted 2 top 100 prospects. Which I don't think you and I ever really were on board with 2. About a week ago, 4 days ago, we had heard that it was going to cost 1 top 100 prospect, a kind of a filler prospect, a lottery ticket, and a major league player, preferably a starter. We heard specifically Emerson Hancock on that front. As late as this morning, we had heard from Jeff Passan that the Mariners so far have been unwilling to move players like Harry Ford for a rental like Eugenio Suarez, but they might have to get this done. And instead, they traded. I'm not here to disrespect Tyler Locklear. He's having a breakout year.
Yeah.
This is a solid get for Arizona for a rental bat. It is nowhere near what they could have gotten. I think Arizona played themselves a little bit here, but this isn't Locked On Arizona, so we're not here to talk about the Diamondbacks side of this thing. But yeah, the Mariners get a legitimate MVP candidate, the guy who has the second or third most home runs in baseball, to pair with the guy who has the most in baseball. They get a guy who is loved in the city, is loved in that clubhouse.
Loved. Yeah.
In that clubhouse, brings instant credibility, and pays off Jerry's messaging for the last week, 2 weeks, month. We're all in. And he did all of that.
They went out and got the 2 best bats that have moved so far. I mean, we'll see if Stephen Kwan gets traded.
Kwan gets moved, whatever, but
but they have gone out. They not only got one of those guys, they got 2 of them.
By giving up 3 relievers, a 21-year-old starting pitcher who's struggling repeating A ball, and Ty Locklear, who is certainly raised his stock. But there's tons of questions there, and there's a lot of questions about the upside. They did all of that by getting those guys. Oh, and then another 20-year-old A-ball pitcher to go get a quality lefty middle reliever.
Yeah.
I think for the first time in a while, we can unironically say chills.
Chills.
This is a masterclass right now by Jerry and Justin. And oh, by the way, they still have so much they can trade.
So much ammo. So much ammo.
They have not
so much left.
Offers at all.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
I mostly want the show to be about Gino.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean the possibilities, real quick, the possibilities are kind of endless still. With all the stuff that the Mariners still have in the tank to trade. So yeah, we'll get into that a little later on, but it's fun to think about.
Sure. By the way, we are recording tomorrow still, whether the Mariners make a move or not, but we will wait until after the deadline. Unless they make a move earlier than that, then we'll hop on and do an emergency pod. But the plan is to just kind of dissect the entire deadline tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, tonight is about Gino, and this is awesome. I can't imagine feeling anything but elation right now. Like Brian Wu just served up batting practice for 7 innings, and the offense was feckless once again. And I don't even know if that game's over. Did they win? Did they? I assume they lost. I don't know, but
yeah, Randy hit a home run, and they fell short by a run.
Surprise. So yeah,
but Eugenio Suarez is coming to town.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't imagine being anything but really happy right now. You have to be ecstatic. The Mariners just added one of the 5 best power hitters in baseball, and he's been that way for the last calendar year. By the way, this isn't just a half year where he's put it together. He was really good for the last 100 games or so of last year as well. He's made swing adjustments. He's more closed off at the plate. This isn't one of those things where, he just got hot at the right time and good on him and all that. Like, he started really slow in Arizona. He made an adjustment. He almost got released. He almost got DFA'd, at which point, by the way, the Mariners were willing to claim him, according to, I don't know, Gambo down at Drive Time Radio in Arizona. The Mariners were willing to get him back last year when he was almost released, and he figured something out. He made an adjustment and he exploded. And for the rest of the season, he was basically Shohei Ohtani. This year, he is one of the best hitters in baseball. He's an MVP candidate. And the Mariners acquired him. Yes, it's only for 2 months. Who cares? This is what we have been
hopefully 3.
This is what we've been pounding the table for, right? Show us that you care. Show us that you want to win. Show us that when the time is right, you are going to push the chips in and you are going to be aggressive and you are going to go add to this roster. And by the way, there were reasons not to be this aggressive. The pitching staff has been a disaster for most of this year. The offense has been wildly inconsistent. You're still a man short in the bullpen. You're tied for the last playoff spot right now. And the Mariners didn't care. They went out there, they spent some money, not a lot, to go get these guys. They spent some prospect capital, not a lot, but that's actually to their favor, not to their detriment. And they have dramatically improved this team. There is not a single lineup in the American League that can match what Seattle's bringing right now. None. There is none. That doesn't mean they can't upgrade in some places. Of course they still can. But 1 through 9, the Mariners have the deepest lineup in the American League and one of the deepest lineups in all of baseball. That is just a fact. They have to perform, but the fact is that 1 through 9, there are very few lineups you're taking over this one right now, particularly the way Gino and Cal are playing this season. So this is an incredible trade, an incredible price. There's literally nothing to complain about in this one. Sorry, Ben Williamson stands. Might be going to Tacoma. He might be on the bench for Dylan Moore. I don't know. I don't really care right now. The Mariners got significantly better today. And there's a phrase I can't really say on the show, but you guys will get the idea here. It comes from Moneyball, right? And the idea is that it's called, it's called an F&A trade.
Yes.
Because it makes the rest of the league stop and go, wow, like they're going for it. And this is a dangerous lineup right now. And by the way, they still have the strength of their farm system. They still have pitchers who are underperforming, who are way underperforming their baseball card. Can you imagine if Gilbert and Kirby figure it out and you get Wu just back to first half Brian Wu? Julio can sustain something. He had another home run tonight. Like, you start to put the pieces together. This is a team that can win the World Series. That is not hyperbole. That is a fact. Again,
especially in this American League.
Yes, absolutely. They still have to perform. We're not crowning them. Of course not. They have to perform. And right now, they're tied for the last playoff spot. Like, they're barely holding on right now. So they have a lot of work to do. But talent-wise, there is not a team in the American League that has more talent than your Seattle Mariners. Not the Astros, not the Tigers, not the Yankees, not the Blue Jays. There is none. The talent has to perform. And right now, the Mariners' talent isn't performing where it needs to be. But they only have to do it for 2 months to get into the playoffs. And you get into the playoffs with this lineup and with the stuff you have in your rotation. We'll see if they address the bullpen further tomorrow. And you can go to the World Series. And if you can get to the World Series, you can win the World Series. There are no dominant teams this year in all of baseball. Nobody's on pace to win 100 games right now. Like, you are as good talent-wise as anybody out there with the ability to still add. You have more ammo than anybody else still. We'll see if they do anything about that. I think that would be awesome if they did. I don't know if they're going to. We'll find out tomorrow, but I can't imagine thinking for 1 second of any negatives for this Eugenio Suarez trade. And if you're thinking of some right now, you're the problem. Okay?
This is this is the best deadline the Seattle Mariners have ever had in their franchise's history. This is better than the Castillo. This is the best cast. This is better than the Castillo deadline. This is better than the Randy deadline last year. They went out, and again, we don't know if Stephen Kwan is going to get traded. We don't know if Jaron Duran is going to get traded. They very well may have gone out and got the two very best bats available this deadline. They just went out and got one of the 3, 5, whatever best power hitters in the game this season to pair with Cal Raleigh, who's having arguably the greatest catcher season of all time. Randy Arozarena, who might be having the best season of his career. The talent, again, to your point, 1 through 9 in this lineup is going to be a problem for opposing pitching staffs to face. How many times have we been able to say that about the Seattle Mariners?
Probably not since 2001. Even when you had Cano, Cruz, and Seager all at their prime, all at the same time, it was so easy to maneuver around those guys.
Yeah.
Now you can't. So, yeah, I'm still hoping they have a move or two left up their sleeves. They certainly have the ammunition to go get that done. Whether they do or not, again, I do not know. I want to be clear about that. I don't know. But if they want to go get another high leverage reliever, they can. If they want to go get a platoon partner for Dom Canzone, they can. If they want to go upgrade second base and be like, sorry, Cole, you're playing in AAA for the rest of this year because we're going to go get Brandon Lau or whatever, they can do that. They can do that. Is all still on the table. So, it's a really exciting night. And if this is it, like if they're quiet on deadline day, like they typically are, I think that Jerry raised the bar. He put the bar way up here and he hit it, which did not look like that was going to happen this afternoon. So kudos to him. Kudos to him and Justin for sticking with it. We know that there were a lot of ups and downs in these negotiations. There was a lot of times they could have panicked and they could have, we have to do something. We have to do something. Let's push extra for this Duran trade or whatever. And they didn't. They stuck to it. They were open to it. This team needs a bullpen arm. Well, yeah, we do. But what if we just make our offense, which has probably been our strength this year, oddly enough, what if we just make it really good? Like add a strength to a strength instead of focusing on upgrading a weakness. And they still might do that. So again, I can't think of anything. Like there is nothing to nitpick here. Phenomenal trade. Great deadline. Already the best in franchise history. Could get even better. Like this could be a special deadline. And yes, we can still acknowledge that. Great. Now the players have to do the work. There is no excuse for the players.
Yeah.
You cannot blame ownership for the next 2 months. You cannot blame Jerry DiPoto for the next 2 months. There is no excuse. It is on the players now to get this done. They've been begging front office. They've been begging ownership to show them and to supplement them and give this core a chance to win. They just did it over the last week, and they still might do it again tomorrow. It's on you. This is on you.
Yep. So take the opportunity and run with it. Real quick, the Diamondbacks are set to play the A's starting on Friday. They flew out to Sacramento tonight ahead of time, so I think Gino is going to be getting on that plane with the boys back to Seattle for tomorrow's, the start of this weekend's huge series against the Texas Rangers, who, oh, by the way, you're tied with now on the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also, by the way, kind of looks like we might get one more, not Mariners related, but we might get one more massive trade tonight because Dallas Braden is hinting pretty clearly that Mason Miller might be about to be traded. He said he's just here, Dallas Braden.
No, to who?
Oh,
do we know?
San Diego. Heyman is saying that San Diego is working really hard to get Mason Miller.
They have the pieces to make that work?
I don't know. And there is a report out there that they actually want him as a starter. So we'll see. The deadline today was off the wall, and we still have another, about 16 hours, give or take? Whatever, 20 hours-ish, whatever.
Interesting.
So, we'll see what happens. But, again, we're Mariners podcast. We're going to talk about the Mariners. Who cares about the Padres?
All right. We're going to talk more about Gino, what he's done this year, how he fits, all that good stuff in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is once again brought to you by Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a Mariners game, either by yourself or with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and suddenly you realize, I want to be in the stands. Well, that's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. For instant reactions following every Mariners game, be sure to tune in to the Mariners postcast with Anderson Hurst and Christopher Crawford, available on both the Locked On Mariners YouTube and podcast feeds. So if you've been living under a rock for the last few months, here's what Eugenio Suarez has been doing with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 248, 321, 577 the slash line. That's a 143 WRC plus. He's been worth 3.1 F4. He was an all-star this year, running a 26.8% K rate, which is the lowest that he's run since 2018, I believe. He's also running a 6.7% walk rate, which is, I believe, a career low for him, actually. It's the lowest that it's been since 2015, but whatever. He's making up for it and then some with the power output. Again, 577 slugging percentage. Big reason for that, 36 bombs. He has almost been able to keep pace with Cal Raleigh and how insane Cal has been this year and the insane run that Cal has been on this year. So we just talked about how deep this lineup is. How do you put it all together, Colby? Like where's Gino hitting in this lineup? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Josh Naylor a 6-hole hitter? Is Randy Arozarena a 5-hole hitter or a 6-hole hitter on this team?
Now there's a difference between how they should line it up and how they will.
Right. JP's still going to be the leadoff guy.
I would imagine so. I would imagine Julio's going to stick at number 2. He's been pretty good for the last few weeks. Yeah, he's had some really bad games, but he's had some really great games. He's probably going to stick at 2. I think Cal probably hits 3. I think Gino hits 4. I think because they like to go left, right. I think Naylor probably hits 5, which means Arozarena is hitting 6.
Randy Arozarena hitting 6 in a
got
lineup?
like a 130 WRC plus right now. 7th, I believe, is Jorge Polanco, who I think is about 120. Polo will DH most of the time, I would imagine.
This is my dream, by the way, folks. This is my dream come true.
Dominic Canzone is probably hitting 8th most nights. And Cole Young is probably hitting 9th.
It's a pretty good lineup.
So just
good lineup.
So just 2 through 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like acknowledging that 8, there's some risk there. 9, there's risk there. And JP's in a really bad slump right now. 2 through 7. Pretty much in whatever order you want, honestly.
Sure.
Julio, Cal, Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, Jorge Polanco.
Can we talk for a second about the fact that Randy Arozarena and Eugenio Suarez are teammates? My 2 most favorite Mariners over the last, I don't know how long, they're on the same team together. We hardly can. We'll get to that in a second, in a little bit. I want to talk about your failed bit, but
I want to get this up as quickly as possible. So let's.
All right, fine. Let's talk about the bit right now. You were working so tirelessly to try and make this work, and it did not.
I had to find an adapter for that sign. Maybe you guys can read it. I had to find an adapter for it. I had to find an extension cord because there's no outlets near it. Like this is the back of a closet right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find that, and then I had to find a way to put it up there. It's being held up right now by thumbtacks because I wasn't sure where I wanted to put it. The shelf right here, I was gonna put it on the shelf.
I needed to fall before the end of the show.
It might. I tried to put it on that shelf, and the shelf and the sign fell down. And I did all of that work only to figure out, here's the kicker.
Do it. Yeah. Yeah. The people listening
Look,
on
you
audio.
can see the corn. It doesn't even go to the ground.
Yeah.
That's its lowest setting. There you go. That's the lowest setting it goes on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you're listening on audio right now, please go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to YouTube. Watch this episode. You need to see this.
I'm hoping it looks better in the daytime because I do have an overhead light on right now. But if it doesn't, I'll send it back and get a better color.
Sure.
I thought I was worried that the dark blue would be fuzzy.
So obviously you bought this ahead of time.
I bought this on
just in case.
I bought this on July 26th. It arrived on July 28th. Just in case tonight happened.
Yep.
And I didn't ever think to do a camera test on it.
And the payoff. Honestly, I would say the payoff's still pretty good because I mean it's funny. It's funny.
Like you can read it if I turn it off. It's
you can kind of
read it.
No, that's a giant. That is a giant yellow blob.
You can see the whatever. So I have to figure out. Maybe I have to get a new color. I don't know. $18 well spent though. But
absolutely, I would say so.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I had to take down my Ricky Henderson comic book cover to put it up there. Like there was stuff and decisions made and scrambling made to try and get that up, only for it to look like that. So I didn't cook as well as Jerry and Justin. Let's just put it that way.
No.
But the foresight to get that, I think, deserves some credit.
For real.
Like I threw down I essentially bet $18 that the Mariners are going to acquire Eugenio Suarez. And my reward is nothing. I just lost $18, but whatever. I'm too happy to care right now. So it's awesome. And it makes things like that easier. It makes games like tonight a lot easier when you look at your baseball team and be like, wow, they're pushing the chips and they're going for it. And they got, a massive fan favorite, and they got a guy who works in the clubhouse, and they got it all at a price that nobody thought they could get this for. So I guess they got Eugenio Suarez for a player who this winter the Mariners did not have factored into their long-term plans at all. Mm-hmm. Think of, they needed first base help. They needed third base help.
They never mentioned him.
We talked
about this all winter. They never mentioned him.
No.
At a single time.
He never had a shot to make the ball club out of spring training, despite Rowdy Tellez has started most of the games for the Mariners this year at first base. Never once did they think Tyler Locklear. Kudos to Locklear for changing the trajectory of his career. It turned out to be huge for the Mariners. They were able to capitalize on it. And I think Locklear is going to be a solid first baseman at the major league level. I think he is. I think this is a legitimate change. So I'm a little bummed to see him go. But for Eugenio Suarez, no brainer. It's, I mean, come on. How are you not just like,
dude, it's
ecstatic
amazing
right now? I don't know how I'm going to sleep.
Dude, it's so cool. It's so cool. So I think the one thing we should quickly talk about, though I don't really have an answer on this front, but the defense. That was obviously the big concern that I saw people bringing up, specifically the Ben Williamson stands, the downgrade from Williamson's glove to Gino's glove. And it will be a downgrade. I think that is a pretty safe thing to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gino right now, -5 outs above average. He's the 8th percentile in that regard.
Yep.
Now, to be fair, outs above average also doesn't like Ben Williamson. Yep. So who knows? I don't know what Gino has scored in terms of defensive runs saved. Obviously, that metric loves Ben Williamson.
You're right. I don't think he's graded out particularly well there. I would say right now, Eugenio Suarez is a fringe average third baseman defensively.
Sure.
So what's the trade-off there? 50 home runs, 140 WRC plus. That's the trade-off right there.
Yeah. I mean, what is Ben Williamson's WRC plus right now? Like in the 70s?
About 80? I don't know.
We're talking about a 70-ish% increase in offense here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So And by the way, again, it's still possible you could have Ben Williamson on your roster if you're that concerned about it. And once Gino gets his last at bat of the night, there you go. Right. So it's one of those things. And plus, it's kind of hard to talk about how important infield defense is when you're the Mariners, when JP Crawford is your shortstop.
Yeah. The other thing to keep an eye on too, I assume he's playing tomorrow night against the Rangers.
So, yeah.
Will he be in the field? Because obviously he got hit in the hand the other night. He DH'd today for the Diamondbacks.
Yes.
So are they going to have to manage that here a little bit in the first few days?
I guess it's also worth noting that technically the trade is pending medicals, because obviously the Mariners are going to make sure.
Sure.
But I don't think they let it leak that this is done if they were concerned at all about the medicals. So this is not technically official yet, but Jeff Passan tweeted it. It's been confirmed by Kramer and Jude and Shannon Dreyer. And they even asked Dan Wilson about it. And he said, I can't really say anything. He's not on the team yet. Smiling. This is going to happen. All right. Just hasn't officially happened yet. And man, can you imagine the vibe change if they found something they didn't like?
Oh, shut up.
I think they're probably going to go ahead and just be like, yeah, you know what? We'll take the risk on that. So it's just,
especially at that price. Yeah,
absolutely. Like there is no downside here. And so again, Jerry and Justin have absolutely cooked. They still have basically they used up all their coupons.
They're that Shaq and Kobe montage right now.
Yeah.
I want to see someone Photoshop Jerry and Justin's faces onto Shaq and Kobe.
There you go. So
send it to me at Tiding Gonzalez on Twitter.
Yeah. So it's awesome night. I mean, it could have been an elite night if the Mariners, if Brian Wu, remembered he was an all-star, 2 starts in a row, by the way, for Brian. Ooh. But it's a great night. And, hey, you know what would help Brian Wu? Scoring more runs. You know who else does that? You know who helps do that? Eugenio Suarez.
That's right.
You know what team he plays for, Ty?
Seattle Mariners.
How about that? And
at least we have one Gino in Seattle still. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what could be next, if anything, for this team in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. All right, folks, it's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. And let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energize. And golf is all about good times with good people. And good flavors, of course. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5 Hour Energy shots today. You're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. So, Colby, what's next? Because the Mariners have like all the prospects in the world still.
Obviously, bullpen is still a need. There are still some guys out there, but there was a run on the high leverage guys today. But there's still David Bednar out there. There's still Pete Fairbanks out there.
There's still the Rockies guys that apparently
the
they've heavily scouted.
There's a couple of Giants guys. The Giants have made their bullpen arms available. Mason Miller's still technically out there. I can't imagine Seattle pays the freight for that, but
that's
maybe
crazy if that's actually the Padres that do that.
Yeah. I mean, they already have 3 all-stars in their bullpen. Talk about building on a strength. There's also the possibility that they could go get a number 5 starter. And we talked about that, and we I think you and I both agree that is a very underrated need here.
Sure.
And it's worth noting that Francis Romero, who is very well connected to the Tampa Bay Rays organization, and broke the Randy Arozarena news last year. He mentioned that, like, yeah, Harry Ford's in the lineup for Tacoma tonight, but he might be traded here in the next few hours. So it does sound like the Mariners are still working on some kind of deal that would involve Harry Ford. Like, Romero's he's not Hector Gomez, right? Like, he's not here to make things up. So yeah, I mean, I would imagine they would still shop Ford. I would imagine that would probably be the guy that they would give up for their high leverage arm. And again, there are a couple of guys out there. We saw today, Duran is the top of the market. Well, Mason Miller might be now, but that costs two top 100 prospects, kind of a middle of the top 100 guy and a back end top 100 guy who's made his debut and actually pitched pretty well. So, if you want Griffin Jacks, although probably not going to trade him now, but if you wanted that,
I don't know. Did you see the reports about what happened in the Twins clubhouse after the game today?
I didn't. I saw the thread, but I didn't go through it. So
yeah, apparently like Jackson Baldelli had like a thing, and Carlos Correa was there for it, and I don't know. So maybe there's a little rift there with Griffin Jacks.
Sure. So yeah, I think tomorrow is more about pitching. But again, there are guys. Yeah. Ramon Laureano makes sense for this lineup. Miguel Andujar makes sense for this lineup, and there's also guys like Jeffrey Springs, who we talked about. Zach Littell. He got traded tonight, so he's not an option, unfortunately, for you. But I still think a number 5 starter, and because you've cooked so well that you can afford what we thought were going to be luxuries.
Yeah,
like you can't afford a number 5 starter. Heck, go figure out what what San Diego wants and steal Dylan Cease from the Astros. Why not? You can afford it.
That'd be crazy.
You can afford it. Yeah. Like, go build your rotation of doom.
I mean, you could still do Willie Castro.
You absolutely could. You still do Griffin Jacks. Like, again, any player that we've talked about that is still available.
Yeah.
Seattle can afford them. Mm-hmm. So you have a chance to get greedy here. Again, it's already a great deadline.
Yeah.
I would really love a high leverage reliever.
Same.
I think if you get,
I still think in general you need to add another arm to the bullpen.
I do too. Ferguson. But like right now, what they've done is really good, and Jerry and Justin deserve to be applauded for that. They set the bar high. They reached it. They could exceed their already high bar for really the first time ever in Seattle.
Get too much. We've said this before. Get too much.
Wow, what a novel concept. I wonder if anybody else has ever said that before. I think tomorrow's about the arms, though. I do think there's a bullpen arm still to go. I don't know if it's going to be, a Pete Fairbanks type. I still think a guy like Phil Maton makes a lot of sense here, but I think you need a guy like that. Like, at the very least, you have today. You got Caleb Ferguson. Remember him? You got him today. He's going to help you in the middle innings, and he can help you save Spire for later innings against lefties, higher leverage spots against lefties. You need another high leverage guy to throw in there besides Bizzardo and Brash to get to the 9th. Fairbanks would be great. He's got an extra year of club control after this year as well. He's probably the guy I would target most. And you obviously have a good relationship with Tampa. They like Harry Ford. There's a lot of things that make sense there. But rentals like Phil Maton still make a good deal of sense. The guys in Colorado could make sense. Again, San Francisco. So I think tomorrow's about finding that bullpen arm. But I would still be engaged on Willie Castro. I would still be engaged on, or I would get engaged with, any of the number 5 starters that are floating around out there, maybe even better. We'll see what the cost is to acquire those guys. Like, I think the Mariners should have their fingers in like all the pies tomorrow, right? And just be prepared to attack wherever the market takes them. They should prioritize the bullpen arm, but if there's an opportunity to go upgrade your number 5 spot in the rotation, go do it. If there's an opportunity to upgrade second base, go do it. Don't let Cole Young, don't let Dominic Canzone keep you from going out there and upgrading other spots in your lineup. So if you can get Willie Castro and he's just going to play second base for the rest of the year, go do it. No disrespect to Cole Young. I love Cole Young, but
also Castro would make a great platoon partner with Canzone as well. He's been crushing lefties this year.
He also crushes at T-Mobile Park.
And I mean, in general, he would just be like the most like super upgrade over what Dylan Moore has been. So in general, I would like to see them go out and get another outfielder. Cause Victor Robles, he was swinging in the cage today. He said he felt good. He said he feels like he's going to be able to get back before the end of the season. But it's going to be September, even possibly mid-September. Luke Raley's on the IL again. Mm-hmm. Like, you need an outfielder now. And you don't really have that guy unless you want to take a shot on Samad Taylor. It's going to be really interesting to see how the roster moves that come.
Yeah, they opened up a 40-man spot tonight, by the way. The 26-man spot is filled by Gino. But they opened up another 40-man spot so they can add somebody as well. And we know that they're willing to trade Dylan Moore. And we know Solano's role on this roster is pretty much over after tomorrow.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
So, I still think there's a couple moves they could make, some minor moves. They might end up just going down to the AAA. But let me ask you this, Ty. Who's the backup center fielder right now? Because the answer is Randy Arozarena, and that's terrifying.
Or it's Dylan Moore, which is perhaps.
I would rather have Randy Arozarena out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might be Dominic Canzone. It literally might.
Yeah, I think Harrison Bader would be a great fit for this ball club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Harrison Bader would be ideal. Willie Castro right there too. He could probably fake it in center field.
And
need him
they were so deep into conversations with the Twins. They've made so much progress there already. They know.
They thought they had that deal done.
I think they got really close on that one. So, so like you pretty much you've laid all the groundwork with the Twins. You know what they want. You know what they like. You know what they don't like. So. Yeah, if you're able, maybe you don't get Jax, but maybe you could get Coulomb, add another lefty to the bullpen. He's been pretty good this year, or Brock Stewart, or whatever. And Harrison Bader, Willie Castro. I would love to see them try and do something like that tomorrow.
And I know it's unlikely, but I would really love to see them walk away with a number 5 starter.
Yeah,
even if it's like an Andrew Heaney type, just like not exciting whatsoever. You
just
need
raise the floor a little bit there in the rotation.
Yeah, you need some stability there. So I think the way I would rank it in terms of priority, I still want that good high leverage bullpen arm. That's number 1, I think, by a mile. Number 2 would probably be an outfielder who could play center field. Ideally, one who's a good fit with Dominic Canzone. Harrison Bader is just yes, like that's such an easy answer. I would consider Cedric Mullins, even though he's not a great fit. I still want a center fielder. I still want somebody just in case Canzone crashes. As well. So, and Ramon Laureano also on the same team there. And then number 3, although it's really more of a number 2, I really would like a number 5 starter. And I know that like, it's probably not going to happen. I get that. I understand it, but with how little you've spent so far, that feels like a luxury you absolutely should be able to afford and can afford. And I think there's going to be options out there. So we'll see how it all works out. But I don't, Ty, you think they have one more like emergency pod worthy move to make tomorrow?
I mean, we did an emergency pod for Caleb Ferguson, so
it was like a mini one.
Yeah, like we'll do an emergency pod for almost anyone.
To be fair, the Ferguson trade, we only talked about it for like 8 minutes.
Sure, but still, like we did an episode. We did an episode centered. Yeah, I know that literally broke as it was uploading.
Yeah.
There was no turning back at that point. I know all of you were watching, like, dude, like we know already he's in Philly, but yeah, whatever.
Sometimes that's what happens. Anyways, we got to get this up before 11 o'clock. So
sorry that this is taking so long to get out. We had to record it, edit it, get it uploaded, all that stuff. My internet isn't the best. So anyway, what a trade. Hell of a trade, hell of a night, hell of a deadline for the Mariners. And now they're kind of playing with house money a little bit because they've already crushed the deadline. Let's see if they can make it even better.
Get greedy.
Yeah. All right. That is going to do it for our show. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Locked On Mariners podcast. For Colby Patnode, I'm Tiding Gonzalez. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at @LO_Mariners. You can follow me at Tiding Gonzalez and Colby at CPAT11. That's CPAT11. We're also on Blue Sky. You can follow me at TDG, Colby at MLB Colby, and the show at Locked On Mariners. You can also find us on Instagram at Locked On Mariners. Have yourself a beautiful baseball day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.